Got it, baby!
I like to say go 5. I didn't say 4, but I felt it was going to be a big one today. I just felt that we needed a big game, but I felt the crowd was going to play the part, but they also knew the players were. Brilliant performance by the team.
I mean, it was pretty comprehensive, Steve, from start to finish. And the second half, we talked about Newcastle trying to stem the flow, but City were just too good today, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think Newcastle really initially did do that. You know, it's a goal by Roddy, it's a great header, it's a great ball. Obviously, they must have worked on that in training. But it's a precise pass, it's a great finish. I think Newcastle will be like a little bit disappointed in the end because they'll have felt, yeah, we didn't deserve anything from the game. But past 3, yeah, but 4, 5. But Man City, that's why they're clinical, that's why they're top of the league. You know, you give them chances, they never stop going. All Man City really had to do is keep a clean sheet and they've won the game, because I can't see Newcastle really creating anything. They had 2 half chances where the goalkeeper pulled good saves off. But what Man City do is they'll come at you, and even when the game's won, they'll still do it.
And as we said kind of before the game as well, Shaun, we needed a reaction. What will that do now for the team, for the dressing room, and then, of course, as we go into these final 3 games of the season?
Well, I mean, the boys will come in there, they'll be high-fiving, they'll be like, brilliant performance. We needed that. The confidence was always there, but that would have been a setback with what happened in Champions League. This is the result and performance we needed. A great performance, a lot of goals, a lot of action. They'll look around and go, yep, we'll take this over the line now.
It's happened a few times, particularly with this City team. Whenever they do have a setback, their mental resilience seems to always come out on top. Does that just come from time playing, Steve? You know, how do you have a dressing room that can bounce back more or less any time they get asked that question?
That comes from a manager, okay. And that comes from your strong characters in the dressing room, your experienced players. I mean, I don't think necessarily you have to be an experienced player, but if you're a strong character in the dressing room, you could be in and around the boys all the time. So you can imagine the leaders really in that team, and we all know who they are, that they'll be constantly reiterating the manager's message. The manager doesn't have to be there. He's got great lads in the dressing room that's constantly sort of saying, yes, it's been a setback, but we start again. And then it's obviously it's Newcastle today, but what we need to do is win the game. Can we put on a performance? They've done both. Impressive.
Yeah, really impressive. And the fans were in fine voice. I will have to give a special mention as well. The Newcastle fans that came made for a great atmosphere, and they packed out that stand. So safe journey back to them. But the players definitely gave the fans what they were looking for, and we were in fine voice by the end. Let's look at the goals. And I mean, there's some great tweets here as well on this first one. D Lamb on Twitter said, Rodri near post, not seen that in a while. Set piece FC at it again from Prince Daniel on Twitter. Kenny also said, loving a set piece, #Man City. We've been known now for our set pieces on free kicks and corners, and I think it's Carlos, I can't remember his surname, but Pep has highlighted the coach who's come in and made a massive difference. And you said it, Steve, you could tell it was from the training ground. That great header from Rodri.
Well, it was. I mean, as the ball's coming in, you know he's got a specific job to do. He makes that run, he gets across the near post, and I think it was Joe Linton who he ran across, but he gets there before him. And because Rodri is what, 6'3"? I mean, again, you're going to need a size person to deal with it. But the most important thing, he gets across him. And because the ball has such quality on it, it has the pace, he just has to glance it. He doesn't have to generate any power. By the time he gets a glance on it, the goalkeeper, he can do nothing about it. It's a brilliant header.
Brilliant header. And then the next goal as well, it was kind of, we were knocking on the door, and then of course he popped up, Mr. Phil Foden. It was a lovely well. We first of all think it was a Zinchenko shot, don't we, Steve?
Well, he'll be thinking it's an assist. He'll be saying it's an assist. It's an assist. We all know he's had a shot or goal. He's kind of cut across it, but Phil Foden's in the right place at the right time. Just getting back to the corner situation.
Oh, yeah.
Teams have to pay attention to that kind of thing, because it can get you so many goals and free kicks. You look at Man City's Laporte's goal.
Yeah.
Again, you can see what De Bruyne is doing. All the players run to the front post. Your Gundogan out on his own. He picks him out. He hits it first time, and then the players are running in for the goalkeeper to drop the ball, which they do. So that's a training ground one as well. That can win you so many games in the season, or pick you up them points. And they're getting 2 goals today with just pure set pieces.
And it's not just, I guess, on set pieces, you know, it's not just the attacking, though, it's the defending the set piece as well. And I think if I try and think back through the season, I can't remember us conceding too many as well. So it's doing the training, not just offensively, but defensively as well, isn't it, Steve?
Well, it is. I mean, I've never been a fan of zonal marking because I think if you've got a man to mark, you mark him. If he scores, it's your fault.
Yeah.
You know, rather than the zonal mark. And plus on a zonal mark, and if I'm standing still, even though I might be better than Goats in the air, if he has a run and jump on me, he's going to beat me in the air.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like the zonal marking. Obviously, there's some people that have got, they'll sort of say, I like it because of X, Y, and Z. But I think just purely and simply, when you've been given a job, mark him, then you mark him and he doesn't get away from you. And if he scores, why has he scored? Then you can address it and work on it.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Then we had, of course, we had the goal from the Zinchenko shot assist, which, of course, Foden tucked away nicely. And like you say, maybe a little bit kind of was unfortunate for Newcastle. And then at the moment, you thought it was all over. And for me, it was probably the best of the lot as far as the team goal, Shaun, with our fifth and final goal.
Sorry, Foden.
For the fifth goal.
Right.
Talk us through it.
Yeah, well, I'm mixing up my goals, but I'm remembering Grealish running in at one particular one. He sets it off to Foden who backheels it. I'm not sure if I'm talking about the same goal, but he backheels it, gets the return, and he slides it in for Sterling. And the interplay from that was absolutely brilliant because I thought Grealish could have actually shot because when he got the return ball, I thought it's there set for him to just leave it in the far corner, but he just rolls it in Sterling's path. And Sterling comes on and just puts it in the top corner. I'm pleased for him because I always thought he wanted a second one. And as they say, Raheem Sterling is top of the league.
He's top of the league indeed. For Newcastle, Steve, you know, I think, you know, they tried to give a good account of themselves. Will this just be a case of we put this behind us now and try and finish the season strong, do you think, for the boys?
Yeah, I mean, there's been better teams than Newcastle come here and been given the same scoreline or even worse. You know, so, as I said, the manager will probably be sort of saying to them, listen, we didn't deserve anything out of the game. If they're being honest, they didn't. But they'll think 5-0 is quite harsh because obviously the two late goals. I think if they're getting off here and it was 3-0, they'd have been disappointed, but they'd have gone, 5-0 looks a bit of a hammering. But as I said, City just don't take the foot off the gas. But this is the one where Newcastle fans knew it's going to be a major upset if they get anything, let alone a win. So even a draw, there would have been hooting and hollering as though they'd won the Champions League themselves, going back up the M62. So listen, it's one of them ones. They've just got to concentrate on the next remaining games. They've done brilliant to be in the position that they are. Obviously, I think for the owners' point of view, they'll be looking at something like this, and it's interesting actually because when you're listening to the new owners, the look at Man City is how you do it.
Yes.
You know, the template, as you said, about the getting players in steadily, the ground. I mean, obviously Newcastle's ground's superb, but the facilities that you've got on the training ground now, Carrington's a little bit different than what it was when we were there.
Yeah.
But also the infrastructure around this part of Manchester as well. So, you know, the owners of Man City are the ones that everybody wants to look at. But as I said, Newcastle, they'll bounce back. It's a disappointing day for them, but it's a top quality team in City.
I'll just say one thing. I think Pep is about perfection. There were two opportunities that I look back and reflect, and Wilson was one, and Maximin was another. They both had chance. So I think City would just look back, if we're talking about perfection, and think, how were those created? Can we improve on that? But it was the result we needed in terms of 5 goals, putting in a great performance, getting the spirits back up, and looking forward to the next games.
And of course, you know, I think the next game now is Wolves away for Man City. I mean, defensively, I think the back end of half of this season, they've been very, very strong, Steve. It's probably going to be a slightly different test for City, but how do you see them coming up when it comes to that game?
Again, I think, you know, if Man City turn up, there's not really a team in the league that can live with them. And I'm including Liverpool in that, because I think Liverpool's defence can sometimes be too high up. And obviously you've got them runners. We've seen, just even at the weekend, though, Wolves don't give up. They're 2-0 down with 11 minutes left. Yeah. And they draw 2-2, although I think the second goal was the 97th minute for Conor Cody. They have got a threat up front, without a doubt. It'll be interesting to see whether that manager's back, because I think he's been off with COVID. Yep. So he'll be a help if he's on the touchline for them. But as I said, if these players individually, if they play to their game, Wolves get nowhere near them. It's as simple as that. But Wolves have got to hope for their best performance and Man City's worst.
Speaking of individual performances, I mean, we mentioned him at half-time, but it'd be reminiscent not to, not to mention him again, because he got the man of the match here in the stadium. There's the tweets that we've been having around him. King Kev, Super Kevin, De Bruyne. I mean, it's colossal.
Yeah, he really is. And a lot of times, that when I sit and watch games, and I think, it's so easy to just go and say, Kev played, wow, Kev was the best player. But he really is.
Yeah.
he receives balls, we was talking about at half-time, in tight areas, and he drives out, and you think, they can't stop him.
Yeah.
He's strong on the ball when he's dribbling. He's quick. And he also has that final pass, that quality. When you look at it, I mean, we see from a great view here in terms of he's got the perfect weight, and this player that's running onto the ball is not breaking a stride. He's winning the ball in a certain area, and De Bruyne is delivering that. The number of times he does that, drives forward. For me, he's an exceptional player. He really is. He just can see the passes. We see passes up here, and we go, he's just done that pass that we see.
Yeah.
I'd love to just spend time with him instead and ask him, like, what is it you see? Because I think he's a phenomenal player.
I think sometimes the phrase world class gets banded about a little bit too easily.
Yeah.
It's absolutely spot on for him. I mean, there was a ball that came to him in the second half, and he played a ball when it came to him round there because he'd looked it. So basically, I class them kind of players as a photographer. He's got 5 or 6 pictures in his head before the ball comes to him.
Yeah.
When the ball comes to him, maybe 2 pictures have been deleted, but he's already taken another 4.
Yeah.
So he's got that many pictures in his head. It's frightening. So when that ball comes, he's thinking, well, I could pass that one, pass that one, pass that one. But I tell you what, because I'm that good, I'll have that one.
Whip it round the corner. I think as well, you're not just that though, and I mean, he picked up a yellow card, but it was a yellow card that I think you love to see them. But maybe sometimes when you're so good at attacking, you'd let him off if he wasn't so good off. But his work rate off the ball, and he's the one that leads the press up there, and then he's tracking back and having, getting that, picking up the little booking, because he has. It's the all-round game as well, which I think probably sets him apart.
I think
as
it's
well.
and for kids who are watching, or kids that are playing the game and wanting to improve, that's a great example, because you're talking about a world-class player that's backtracking on one of Newcastle's top players that's on a counter attack, and he's saying, I've got to put this challenge in. I've got to put this challenge in to stop this attack. And he almost took one for the team. But normally you get quality players like that go, I can't, that's not my job. I don't do that. He's backtracking, working hard, and he's taking one for the team. And you don't often see a player of that quality do that. For me, his all-round game, his determination off the ball to win it, he just glides into low positions, looks around, like you said, he's always scanning, and he's like, I see these 3 options, but this 4th one's the best option, and he just goes pop, and they go, they're in trouble. And it's the way the pass is just perfect. I feel pleasure to watch him.
I agree, and he leads from the front. Just for me, selfishly, because I thought close second for me behind him, I thought Ollie Zinchenko, we know he's kind of, especially when Cancelo's been so great on that left side with Kyle Walker, but I thought Zinchenko today, Steve, was hardly put a foot wrong.
I think there was a few players, really. I mean, when you get him from Gundogan, he just sprays it about, gets it, gives it. I thought Jack Grealish had a good game. Jesus as well, he was another one. But Zinchenko, as I said, he's bombing backwards and forwards. He had a great effort on goal. I actually think it's a fantastic save by Dubravka.
Agreed.
Because initially I thought he put it over the top, and then we looked at the replay. It's a wonderful save. But yeah, I mean, another player who's a special player. But we talk about these players, but they all are very, very good players. And together they make a very special team. But yeah, he'll still claim the assist. It's not an assist, it was a shot and he shanked it.
Yeah, I just have to piggyback on that, because not only has he played well, but I think Grealish today, I'm just going to give a little mention to Grealish, because I thought he was, forever driving forward, asking questions. And again, I think he's starting to really be comfortable, and understand what City are looking for, and when he should do certain things. He's looking so much more comfortable, really plays, he performed well. But nice for him to get a little goal on the top of it. But yeah, he performed well. And Steve's absolutely right. You can't say one player's played well. You look and you think, actually, it's a good 8, 9 players. You go, They all play well. And the one who you say hasn't played well, he still performed at 8.
Yeah. The level's that high, isn't it? Oh, well, listen, gents, I'm buzzing. 5 goals, great for the goal difference as well. That does mean that we are now 3 points clear of Liverpool, who are in second place. 3 games to go. Wolves are up next. And I want to say a massive thank you, of course, to all of you for joining in and getting involved in the show and coming to watch us. And, of course, my brilliant guest today, to Steve Howey, and, of course, to Shaun. Thank you so much. Now, listen, as we know, business end of the season, it does not stop there. So Matchday Live is going to be with you for every game until the end of the season. Also, don't forget as well, we've got a massive celebration for that infamous 93-20 goal. That game that was a decade ago next week. I think there's going to be an unveiling of a statue. We've got an event happening here in Manchester. And of course, we've got the 93-20 documentary coming out. And it doesn't stop there, because on City Plus, the good news just keeps on coming. Check out what we've got coming up on there. And we'll see you all next time for the game against Wolves. Thank you very much and enjoy your evening. Take care.
And she'll run and she'll go for goal. Gabriel Jesus. It's Rodrigo who stepped forward here.
Now with 2 games to play in this remarkable season. Yaya Toure into Aguero. Back to Yaya Toure. He's bent it in. City have scored. Now Clichy, just a lack of urgency here perhaps from City. Clichy, Toure to seal it. That's it. The win secured. Yaya Toure again. It's Newcastle 0, Manchester City 2.